Welcome to another edition of the Willy Bragg Show. I'm your host, Willy Bragg. Um, Let me just get started real quick here. I want to wish each and every one of you a very happy, fulfilling International Labor Day, otherwise known as International Workers' Day, May Day. And that's what I want to talk about today, a real brief. And why it's important for all of us to observe May Day, International Labor Day, International Workers' Day. And we're all connected around the world. We have more in common with each other, regardless of who we are, where we come from, what color we are, what faith we adhere to, what creed, what ethnicity, what sexual orientation, what gender, whatever it is, and demographic and circumstances of life. We have more in common with each other than those who are at the top. And that is one thing that I think that we all need to keep in mind, regardless of whatever your ideological orientation is. Always keep your eye on the prize and always remember that. So let's get started with my greetings to all of you in my audience, the Willy Bragg Show. Happy International Labor Day. Happy May Day. And I like to say, right now, with regard to May Day, what's very important about this holiday, I'm sorry for the background noise there, was very important for this holiday is that we need it more than ever to adhere to workers' consciousness. Now, strangely enough, it is steeped in the American tradition. And it's a strange thing. It's a strange notion for actually people who are opposed to the notion of any form of socialism on the conservative side of the political spectrum. And it's even strange among those of us on the left where we're used to a very right-wing Overton window in the United States. But strangely enough, May Day is of an American tradition. It's not necessarily associated with, it's not originally steeped in, those May Day parades in the Red Square in Moscow during the heyday of the Cold War, or not even in workers getting together in a solidarity movement parade in any Western European country during the heyday of social democracy. It is steeped in the American tradition. On May the 1st, 1886, about 350,000 Americans walked off their jobs, basically for the 8-hour workday. That's what happened. And it was the May Day General Strike of 1886. And it was alerting to the consciousness of the 8-hour workday. I have relatives who are no longer alive that told me here in the South, on my dad's side of the family, who worked, they were never socialists or communists or anything like that. I mean, they weren't, either. I mean, they were, whatever politically, roughly Democrats or what have you back then. But what I'm saying is that what these folks were, these folks were workers, and they worked. They were telling me that they work in the mill village. And working there, they work from sun up to sundown, basically. And that was how it was until it became law, I believe in 1937. It was finalized in the 8-hour workday was finalized in 1937 through FDR's New Deal reforms. So we have an 8-hour workday officially on paper because of the New Deal. So there's a lot of revisionists out there who tell you that the New Deal just made things worse for everybody. No, it did not. No, it did not. So it is steeped in the American tradition. Ironically, a couple of days later in Haymarket Square over there in Chicago, they continued with the strike for the 8-hour workday. There was a bomb that was thrown. I was doing this really quickly. It was a bomb that was thrown out there. And we don't know who threw the bomb, but several people were killed, including some police officers, and 7 anarchists. Some of them were not even there at the event, were accused of killing the police. officers that were dead at the what was called the Haymarket riot, where everything went out of control due to the bomb and all that. And these 7 men were executed, which was a shame. Even if they were guilty, it would have been a shame that they'd been executed, because that's a side issue. I oppose capital punishment. Suffice to say, because of the May Day general strike in 1886, and because of the Haymarket affair that happened in 1889, the Socialist International, which is the successor to the first international that collapsed, I guess basically due to the death of Karl Marx and the administrative chaos that ensued afterwards, that came about in 1889. They were talking about the 8-hour workday and alerted the consciousness of it. And I believe if I'm not mistaken, by 1904, I think that they recognize International Workers' Day as a holiday for May 1st, calling on all labor and social democratic socialist parties around the world to embrace International Labor Day, or International Workers' Day, what became May Day, which the communist movement and the Trotskyist movement would later also embrace as they developed their own ideologies and all that decades later. One of the common threads that kind of bind all the movements together in that regard. But suffice to say, so there you have it. And I would say it is very important to kind of adhere to date. May Day is more relevant than ever because the attacks against workers. I mean, yeah, we had the 8-hour workday on paper, but you know what? What is the 8-hour workday when you're working? You have to work 2 jobs, or sometimes 3 jobs to make ends meet. That in a roundabout way, we're not really working 8 hours a day anymore. We're not really working 40 hours a week anymore. Really, honestly, we should work 30 to 32 hours a week and still get the 40 hours pay. But that's, I would love to see that happen. But, getting back to that first basic step of basically one job is what should take to kind of make ends meet. And we have an economic system that is rigged against all of us Americans here in the United States, all the people around the world for that matter. That since I'm talking here in my seat here in the United States, I'm addressing what an American problem, but our American problem is a world problem too. And so we're all being exploited. And I just want everybody to keep in mind that we all have more in common than we do in our differences. And, this is why those on the top, you see this bullshit culture war that's being perpetuated. Those on the top, we're talking about Democrats and Republicans alike. They may differ and passionately differ on abortion rights and gay and lesbian rights and trans rights and whether we should have prayer in school or not, and all of this crap that's culminated in the culture war. And they may passionately disagree with that on the top level, but where they do agree is the money. They're okay. They rather see all of us fighting amongst ourselves than to see real change. And so this is why we can't get anywhere as a movement. And I just think it's time for all of us, all across the board, no matter what circumstances you are in life, that we all realize we have more in common with each other than we do those on the top. And those on the top, what are they doing? They're pissing on us. So this is why May Day, International Labor Day, is very important. And I just wanted to get that out of my chest and give y'all a heartfelt, as a socialist, a very heartfelt, happy fraternal greeting of May Day, International Workers' Day, worker solidarity for all of us. And hopefully from here on, we can basically move forward and challenge this animal we call capitalism, crony capitalism that we have, and we have been living with, longer than sin itself. But I mean, it's really gotten out of hand, especially since the days of Reagan and Thatcher. So here on the chat line, we have Miguel. How are you doing today, my friend? Let's see. Happy International Labor Day to you too. May Day, absolutely. Nays Garden, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Let's see here. We have Billy Bong Thornton. Hi, how are you doing? And we have here Choosy Heretics Choose Carnation Revolutions Now. Nobody feels like Panama Red is back in town. Hey, Choosy Heretics, I am going to do a second attempt on the Carnation Revolution. It will be done, but I'm going to make sure I don't get shut down in midstream next time, okay? So it will probably be sometime this week or next week. Everybody will get the notification here on YouTube on that one. So let's see. We have here Philip Capehart. A lot of history to tell the Insidious. Yep. And and Nate says, please do not forget to talk about why you think Tucker Carlson was fired. I will be talking about that. Actually, I will be talking about that in my next stream in a few minutes. So I was going to try to do 3 streams, but I'm going to be only going to have time to do 2. So if you like what you heard, please press like and comment. Comment if you disagree anyway. We'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the material and content I have on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell here on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, the whole 9 yards, and always reject corporate media. And so anyway, until next time, let me just answer Nays real quick. Can we get a preview? Well, it'll probably be a few minutes. I already got everything set up, so it'll be in a few moments. So basically, what I'm saying here is that I wish everybody a great May Day, and until next time, I'm Willy Bragg. Take it easy, and solidarity forever.